Here's the September 11th, 2024 regular meeting agenda with one amendment to agenda item DC, which needs to be ratified. Do I have a motion to adopt the one meeting agenda?
Make a motion to approve.
All present. Roll call, Valerie? Aye. Teresa? Aye. Sammy?
Aye.
Patty? Aye. And aye. Report. High school. Synopsis, Melinda?
Good evening, everybody. My name is Samantha Galindo. I'm here to bring the report on behalf of CHS. First off, I'd like to go into this week. This week we had Club Rush Week, where club members and advisors have a table set up at lunch and recruit students to be involved in clubs on campus. In addition to this, we have also, this year, CHS has commenced a new program. It's in film and video projection. If you guys have attended any of the football games, you're going to see that everything's broadcasted live on the big screen, and that is broadcasted by your own CHS students. It's essentially a class where they teach you how to film and anything of that sort, and they give you the opportunity to do so by recording any live games. Also, a student advisory group has been put together to help bridge connection between students and feeling a part of school. I'm a part of the student advisory group. We met just yesterday and we discussed what can we do to help students feel better. We went over some ideas, and if you guys ever wanted to have an input, you could always tell me and I can just forward that information to the advisory. Also, baseball is celebrating their successful season last year with a banquet tonight in the TLC. And we will be hosting a patriotic constitutional rally on September 20th. And we are starting to gear up for homecoming festivities that is gonna start in about 2.5 weeks. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Superintendent report?
Yes, first of all, I wanted to good evening, Board President De La Fuente, members of the board, staff and committee. First, I want to thank Ms. Galindo. It's great to have students back in here, so thank you so much. You are the reason why we're here, okay, you and students, and so that's our focus, so thank you. And I want to thank our principals too, because she mentioned the advisory. The student advisory is something that all schools will be doing on a quarterly basis to get feedback from the students, because we want to make sure that what we're implementing is well held at line with our students. So you saw me model that last year with the listening and learning session. That'll continue to our principals. So that's one of our expectations, our commitments. So that is taking place. So it's great to hear that. I just want to take a moment to thank all of our classified support staff in the classrooms, extending learning opportunities for our students every day. We see our paras, we see other staff members in there, and it's great to see them. And so it's so important because they are an extension of the teacher, and they're doing a great job. All our schools on Facebook and Instagram, all of our schools have that, and so they're sharing the stories and the great things happening at schools. We know that at times we're going to have some negative behaviors, but overall we have a lot of great things happening. And so whether you're following John Muir and all of the stuff that's happening in sports and rallies, or the high school and the Pack the Hall and Bret Hart, whatever the case, Fremont, it's there. So please follow us on those Facebook and Instagram accounts. With that, with social media, I want to just take a moment for a serious note. We had an unfortunate event take place in Georgia last week, and I know that many of us pray each day for those students and families as well as our very own here in Corcoran. Events like that spawn social media threats, which we even saw pop up in recent days in multiple districts throughout. There was even one today, I believe, in a district in Fresno County. And so I want to stress to our students, families, and staff that we will not tolerate that type of behavior. When a student posts a threat on social media, regardless of the level of threat, it is a felony. And so we're seeing that students are actually being arrested for that. And a lot of times they don't realize that, and but it is a serious offense. Families, I encourage you to work with your students on the proper use of their devices and social media. We are grateful for Ms. Laura Duran and her team who are proactive in their support of safety and security on our campuses, and also our guardian supervisors who are an extension for their support of our safety team. Together, they create a great culture on our campuses to keep our schools inviting for our students and safe. A lot of times when you go on campuses, the safety supervisors and the yard duty supervisors are being proactive and connecting with students. It's not so much about their job being a hammer as more so about building trust and being able to be there for students. And so they do an amazing job. I just want to thank them because as you walk on campuses, you can feel that. If you see something, say something. We have it on some of our school websites, but we'll have it on all of it, is this little logo and icon. And I saw it in the high school, I believe, on the bottom left-hand corner, but it's a Be Safe Springfield link on all school websites, and it links to a website specifically for that school where students can, and families can anonymously report any activity. So it doesn't necessarily have to just be bullying. It could be, you know, something broken in a restroom or, you know, whatever the case may be. I think our chief would say similar because she was here a week ago or a couple weeks back. You know, we don't know everything that's going on in the community, and so it's important just, you know, and I know she would be okay with me saying this, is that it takes all of us to be reporters, right? To be able to say, hey, this is happening, this is going on, or, you know, this might be taking place. And so that's what helps, right? And so we have to battle the old notion that, you know, someone that doesn't want to be labeled a snitch, right? But at the end of the day, right, if we're not advocating for others, then we get these kind of unsafe events. And so I want to make sure that we empower our students, empower our families to be able to use resources like Springfield. What will stop this senseless violence are people proactively intervening with students before they get to their bullying point. And so again, that's why I'm so grateful for our staff who are out there and about working with students. So and on a positive note, I sent out a short one-question survey using our new Real platform. That's a platform that the board has adopted last year. And what it is it's pretty cool. It sends a link, and then what it does is you just do a question. And it's really focused on people either being able to write a short response. They can record it with their voice, which we have too, or they can also videotape it like a reel, like not videotape anymore, that doesn't exist, but they just do it on their phone and they can record themselves saying it, right? And it takes it and it kind of creates a summary of that information. So the question that I gave to staff was, what is one celebration that you would like to share for the start of the 24-25 school year? And here are some of the responses that they had. Celebrating food service ladies that make all the food for our students and staff members each and every day. And that's so important. They had fajitas, I believe, last week, and so you know they're really doing some really amazing things with food. The kids seem to be doing much better this year with another one. I get to begin the new teacher induction program this month, so that's amazing for that one teacher. We're becoming a family in our classroom. I'm excited about the opportunities for our student athletes this year. They mentioned the huddle that you all approved and other tools that are making our program be, you know, to that top-notch level. I think championship level that Mr. Larkin talked about. And this year has started better than the last, and then TLC is focusing on standards and trying to align everything to maximize instruction. So a lot of great things happen in the district. Yes, we have a lot of room to grow as well, but I just want to thank everybody for just the countless dedications they have for our students and to make sure that they meet their goals. And so with that, I feel my time.
Thank you. Board of Trustees.
I went to the last two away football games, and unfortunately the Panthers lost Battle of 43. It was tough, but they hung in. But attending those games, I was able to see how everyone else has this nice screen just like we do, but they don't make use of it the way our video production does. And it's amazing. They're live streaming in home. They're live streaming the audience, the game, and when we go away, it's just their mascot on the screen. You know, so I'm really proud of our video production class.
I got to support the science, the new building is being remodeled, and it's amazing to see the product and how it's working. And it's one thing when we sit here on the board and we hear about a project that's being done and what it's going to do, and we have questions on what it's going to cost and what we're going to do with it, et cetera, but it's really nice to go out there and tour and see what's going to be and how it's going to be good for our students. On another note too, I toured Mark Twain, and some of the stuff that we read again here, it doesn't really make sense, and sometimes I have to go back and try to think about it over and over again, but seeing it, being on site and seeing what is being done with and how they're using it, it's an eye-opening for me. So I want to thank the staff today at Mark Twain for taking the time to explain it to me. It really made sense, and so I plan to be in your ear a little bit more, trying to truly understand, because it's really, really good help. So thank you.
Urban Faculty Association, we received the CFA report and the superintendent will respond. California School Employees Association, CSEA. Public comment. Members of the public wanting to provide public comments on items listed on tonight's agenda, we recommend you fill out a public comment form on the table in the forum and hand it to James Gonzalez before the item comes up on the agenda. We recommend you complete a separate form for each agenda item you want to comment on. Members of the public providing public comment, please use the microphone on the podium in the middle of the boardroom. Reina Madrid. Action items, consent agenda. Second.
Some of these, requests for transportation and reimbursement, request for clarification. What is the standard rate that we pay employees to drive their own personal vehicle? District owned vehicle is not.
Yeah, so we have actually, our Director of Fiscal Services has the amounts that you can explain.
Good evening, board members. I'm Israel Cardenas, Director of Fiscal Services, and the IRS mileage rate is 67 cents for the calendar year 2024.
67 cents.
Yeah, 67 cents.
So you might want to check and have supervisors look at the request, because some of the staff are probably, according to that figure, close to $1,200. Have them review that a little bit. I'm just afraid that if we say, yes, we're gonna pay you $250 as a board, that's what they're gonna expect.
Got it, yeah, those forms are reviewed too. Got it.
So the form in here was not reviewed, because it was signed off by the supervisor who approved it. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Roll call. Valerie?
Aye.
Teresa?
Aye.
Sammy?
Aye.
Patty?
Aye.
And Nine. Business. We will hear from each district staff for the following action items. Mr. Howard for action G.
Hello there. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
All right. Well, it's great to finally meet you all. My name is Mark Howard. I'm pleased to be filling in here and helping out the district. It's been really great. It's been very welcoming. The staff's been amazing, and I get to work with Chuck again. So that's icing on the cake. So it's really great to be here. So for this item, Christy White, our district is in need of audit services. Ed Code requires that we have our audit for the 23-24 fiscal year completed by December 15th. We are a little bit behind on that, and we desperately need to get an auditor on our team to begin that audit. So I've reached out to 3 other firms. 2 of them, one of them said they were too busy and denied us. One of them said they could do it if we can get an extension to January. But Christy White is fully staffed up, and she was prepared to support us right away. So their fee is $35,000, which is in alignment with what we've normally been paying over the last 3 years. And I think that they are the way to go and the best value to making our deadline by December 15th. So I am asking for the board to approve the engagement letter with Christy White.
Consider the approval of the audit engagement letter for Christy White for 2024 audit services. Do I have a motion to approve?
I motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call, Valerie? Aye. Teresa? Aye. Sammy?
Aye.
Patty?
Aye.
And I.
Thank you.
Consider the approval of point-to-point wireless bridge service agreement. Adam,
Hey, good evening, board members. The agreement, which I believe is in your packet, what this agreement is for us with the County Office of Education. They currently provide all of the networking connections to all of the school sites through KCOE. What this does, it's a add-on agreement to install the same type of microwave link we use to connect all the sites now out to the stadium at the high school. So with that, we can provide access to our network or internet access for any activities taking place out there. One of the first ones would be the Huddle system for doing the streaming video. So that'll provide the same type of network plugs we have, running equipment here inside the booth at the stadium. So we can connect those types of services in there. So there's two parts. There's a one-time install fee for the dish to run the signal back up to one of the other buildings at the high school. And then there's a much smaller monthly charge for the networking. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them or find out the answer if I don't have it.
Have we ever had Wi-Fi outage stadium before?
To my knowledge, no. And there's no network or fiber cabling going out to that side of the property. So I mean, that's something we may be looking at in the future for doing some trenching to do, more permanent installations for all that sports field area or maybe the property across the street, but, as we plan for the future. But this solves our problem right now, so we can make use of that.
So we would be able to add it on later for the property across the street?
That's something we're taking a look at, as we've been discussing facilities planning, because right now we don't have connections, physical wired connections across to the grounds property or Kings Lake or that side of the sports field. So that may be something we may bring to the board at some point, but we're just researching that type of install now.
Say we don't have ground wires at Kings Lake, correct?
Yeah, there's a microwave link to Kings Lake also, similar to what we're putting in here for the stadium.
Okay.
That's how they get their network access and their some of their phone service right now. Yeah, sure.
I have a motion to approve.
I vote to approve.
One second. Roll call, Valerie?
Aye.
Teresa? Aye. Sammy?
Aye.
Patty?
Aye.
And I. Consider the approval for Vera's Innovative Painting rate of change order number 1, Jason Carroll.
So good evening, everyone. So basically here, we're doing the project for Kings Lake siding replacement and painting, I'm sorry. When they were removing siding, classroom number 5, rotted siding, they discovered that there was some framing, 2x4 framing rotted at the time, and the Tyvek wrap, which is protects from the weather. At the time, it was needed to be replaced, but Vieira's just went over and did the job and then submitted a change order after the job was done. So I discussed with them after the fact that happened and say, we can't be having this. There's a process. We have to bring it to the board for approval. But they did it before they sent the paperwork to me. So it was going to be needed to be done regardless because it was rotted framing and then the Tyvek weather wrap. So at this point, I'm just bringing it back to ratify that it was done properly and then needed if, for approval.
They did it already.
Roll call, Valerie?
Aye.
Teresa? Aye. Sammy?
Aye.
Patty? Aye. And I. Action, GC.
So for this change order for Oro Mitchum, change order number 4, I know there was an invitation sent out to you guys from, I believe, Gina, to go look at the science building. Kind of for you guys to see what we're doing then, what the process is and how the construction is going, which we're 4 weeks ahead on construction, so we're now delayed. Unfortunately, there is a screen wall on top of the building that protects or hides our HVAC system and then the roof hatch. That screen wall is actually just the anchoring system of that screen wall, which is noted in one of those pictures there, is just sitting on top of the plywood. So as of now, it's not secure. So in order for that screen wall to be up to compliance, it needs to be, they need to be some structural blocking added and some hangers around to protect it, and not protect it, but secure it better and to bring it back to code. So that would impact, it'll be a change order to add that, and then hopefully we get approved. No, not yet. No, I make sure, believe me, I make sure it's down. So yeah, sorry. Any questions or?
Do I have a motion to approve?
I motion to approve. Second.
Roll call, Valerie?
Aye.
Teresa? Aye. Sammy?
Aye.
Patty? Aye. And I. Future agenda items? Identify closed session. The following topics have been identified for closed session: personnel matters, public employee discipline, dismissal, release complaint, conflict of labor. Public comment on closed session items.